Kablooey. Yeah, that's the name of the game. Isn't that something a kid says when he sees an explosion on TV? You know, Kablooey! Ha ha! Kablooey! I mean, it's so childish. Your friend calls up, he's like, "Hey man, what are you playing?" Kablooey. Hey, isn't that a baby's game? No. Seriously, why couldn't they call it something manly, like Blast Radius, or Destructo Zone, or how about... That's a great title. Or maybe even throw in at the beginning of it. I mean, there are endless options. Why settle for Kablooey? Judging solely from the title, you might think that Kablooey is like Bomberman, or maybe some other high-octane action game. But no, it's actually closer to Tetris or Dr. Mario, one of those brain-twisting puzzlers. You play as this blue snail, clown, alien-human hybrid thing, and he or she or it must detonate all the bombs on a stage. Of course, the catch is, you have to be alive when the smoke clears. And that's all there is to it. Like other puzzle games, it starts simple enough. In the first stage, you just detonate each bomb individually. They're small, they only destroy one tile, you're fine, it's cool, everything's easy. Then as the game progresses, you're introduced to new gameplay mechanics. First, bigger bombs, teleporters, and enemies, and remote control cars. And then later, bombs that can be moved by dribbling them like a basketball, although that doesn't seem too safe. It's all really cool stuff. And I appreciate that, because this game has 100 levels. It would get really stale really fast if the game wasn't always throwing new mechanics at you. My only complaint is the lack of on-screen explanation. They just throw these bizarre looking things at you, and you're supposed to kinda know what they are, I guess. Look at the remote control car panel. I didn't know what this was for the longest time. Of course, when I did figure it out, it was one of those big, oh moments. There are a lot of those in this game, and I appreciate that. It's really cool to see a game that requires you to think. And a nice twist is that it's not really about pressure or stress. It's more of a relaxing experience. Sure, you have a limited number of lives, but you actually have infinite continues. Awesome, right? And if you decide to put the game down for a while, you can come back and pick right up with the password system. And some of these mechanics that I mentioned a few seconds ago, they're really cool. Like the remote control car. This is one of the best things I've ever seen in a puzzle game. You can actually send it out to blow things up for you. And I like the ice, which sends you in a certain direction. The thing I don't like, though, are the enemies. The enemies suck. They don't need to be here. They add nothing to the puzzle element. They only add frustration. Because as good as this game is, it has some flaws, and these enemies kinda bring them to light. For instance, I'm not a big fan of the whole diagonal view. I'd rather have a head-on view or a top-down view, because sometimes I'll press a direction and move the opposite way, or move down and die by walking off the edge. These are bad things. It's also kinda stilted in terms of control. Everything's so stiff and awkward, it almost feels like a point-and-click game where you don't actually directly control the character. Except that you do. I just found the cartridge, so I don't have the manual or the box, so I couldn't tell you if this game has a plot or not. But I'm wondering, what do you think it could be if it did? Maybe it's something like the Hurt Locker, and this blue thing needs to make the battlefield safe again. He has to destroy all the bombs. Yeah, that makes sense. They should make Kablooey into a movie, just like the Hurt Locker. I mean, if the Academy like that, imagine how they'll react to this. I can picture it now. Best Picture nomination. Best Actor. Best Screenplay. Kablooey! No. Kablooey. And you know what else is annoying? That damn voice.
Player 1, get ready.
Yeah, that one. It's okay at the beginning of the level. I mean, you hear it 100 times, you might get sick of it. But that's not the annoying part. If you take too long on a puzzle, it starts to play like crazy. The same sound clip remixed into itself.
Get ready.
DJ, get ready, you know? Get ready. It's so annoying. Is the game trying to drive you insane? At first, that's what I thought was happening. I was playing the game and I'm like, why am I hearing that voice? And it's so quiet, hidden under the music. It's bizarre, it shouldn't be there. I guess they're really happy that they fit that voice clip on their little cartridge, so they want to get as much use out of it as possible. But come on, guys. Another thing I'm gonna rip on, the graphics. The animation is terrible, the characters don't look like anything, and the levels all look the same. This is one of those things that makes it seem a bit more repetitive. I mean, they changed the tile color a little bit, but by and large, it's the same blue background and the same isometric view. And I guess I can't fault the game for that, because Tetris, the best puzzle game of all time, is essentially a bunch of blocks falling in from a blank background. So I guess we'll have to give Kablooey a free pass in this department. Another positive note, the challenge is good. It starts easy, so you can get the hang of things, and then ramps up at a gradual pace. There are a few hard stages thrown early on, which should probably be moved back, but by and large, I have no major complaints in this department. And that's a rarity, because sometimes I find that puzzle games have very unbalanced gameplay. So, believe it or not, Kablooey got this right. Personally, I'm pleasantly surprised with this game. It's fun, it's interesting, it's different. It has flaws, it's not perfect. It makes sense why nobody's ever heard of it. But you know what, if you see it and you like puzzle games, I'd recommend you give it a try. So if you do pick it up,
Get ready.
for fun. Okay, so guys, don't take this the wrong way, but if I was ever gonna, like, set a bomb in a bank and blow shit up, I'd try and rig it up in a Kablooey cartridge. Wouldn't that be a laugh and a half? Or maybe a Kablooey cartridge strapped to a Bomberman cartridge with all the bomb innards inside. Someone would find it and be like, Kablooey? Bomberman? Oh, shit.